Thank you for joining us today for our Continuing Black History Month lecture series. I'm Jill Upson, Executive Director of the Herbert Henderson Office of Minority Affairs. Today's speaker, Avon Cobourne, is a 2018 inductee in the West Virginia University Hall of Fame. He was a running back for the Mountaineers football team from 1999 to 2002. Considered one of the greatest running backs in WVU football history, he finished his career as WVU's and the Big East's rushing leader from 1999 to 2002, becoming the only player in school history to post 4 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Cobourne set WVU records for rushing yards in a season, 1,710, and career, 5,164. Most 100-yard games in a season, 10, and career, 28. Most carries in a season, 335, and career, 1,050. And tied the record for most consecutive 100-yard games, 6, and most touchdowns in a career, 42. A team captain in his junior and senior years, Cobourne holds the Big East record for most carries in a career, most 100-yard games in a career, and rushing yards in a career. Cobourne is also tied for 16th in career rushing yards in NCAA history, including bowl games, and 22nd in career rushing without counting bowl games. He is one of only 23 players in NCAA history to rush for 5,000 yards or more in his career. Cobourne was signed by the Detroit Lions in 2003. From there, he signed with the Miami Dolphins before embarking on a 6-year career in the Canadian Football League, where he achieved All-Star recognition and was named the MVP of the 2009 Grey Cup. Cobourne has a degree in marketing from West Virginia University. And now, the Herbert Henderson Office of Minority Affairs is honored to present Avon Cobourne on Black History and Sports.
Hello, my name is Avon Cobourne, number 22 in your program, number 1 in your hearts. I played for our Mountaineers from 1999 to 2002. Some of you may know me from the work that I've done in the community with the YMCA. More recently, some of you know my name have come up because of my wife. She's doing some great things. Well, I'm originally from Camden, New Jersey. I moved back to West Virginia in 2017, and now I reside on the west side of Charleston, where I work for Gateway Mortgage and Primerica Financial Services. Today, I would like to address my history on sports and the positive effects that it played in my life, and what it can play in a lot of other people's lives. So why did I get into sports? Well, one of the biggest reasons I got into sports was there were a lot of male role models that I didn't have access to in my community. And when I played sports, there were a lot of people that were doing some positive things and having positive impacts, and I wanted to be a part of that. My first experience with sports was, organized sports was what we called the turkey game, the annual turkey game in Camden, New Jersey. It was Camden High School versus Woodrow Wilson High School. I heard of it, but I never was able to get to a game until about 1989. I was about 10 years old, and just going there, it was super cold. There were a whole bunch of people there. It's both sides. So I was from East Camden, and Camden High was North Camden, Parkside, that area. So, the whole entire, 9 square miles of Camden, New Jersey was at this game. Again, it was super cold. It was one of those games that, you knew something big was going to happen because everybody was there. And one of the things that I just remember so vividly was there was a pro football player named Mike Rozier. He's from my hometown. He went to Woodrow Wilson High School, and he pulled up to the game in a white Rolls Royce, and everybody rushed to him. I knew at that time that was something I wanted to do. I wanted people coming up to me and giving me the same type of, attention that they gave him. And, I wanted that car too, to be honest with you. And what I learned, that he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He went to Nebraska, and I mean, he was just a hometown hero. He was from my hometown. So, what did that do? That actually gave me an opportunity to say, you know what, I could do that. And when you look on TV, there's really no one that looks like me, in the movies or in the commercials. I mean, there was some people that were artists, musicians, but I can't sing, dance, or rap or do anything like that. So that wasn't in the cards for me. But when I watched sports, man, it gave me some solace. It let me know that was a profession that I could achieve, or I can do it. Why? Because there was a lot of people, on the TV that looked exactly like me. When I watched college football, basketball, the NFL, I saw people again that looked exactly like me. And again, I knew this was something that I could do, and that I wanted to do, because again, it was done before. So Mike was the first one, but then after I got into sports and started watching, and people telling me, Avon, you got a body like a running back. And I'm like, well, if I do, and I didn't really know that, that meant that I was short. That's what people were basically saying, that I was short. So I really didn't like it. But at the same time, I was like, well, I am who I am. But then I found a guy named Barry Sanders. I saw him, playing. I mean, again, he was short in stature. Super fast. Moves. He was just the person that I love watching play sports. Play football in general. So I saw him play, in college. The dude was crazy. If any of you have saw him, he ran for 200 yards a game, 2,600 yards in a year. That's insane. I don't think it's been done since. It was absolutely amazing to watch him do what he did. And, I wanted to be Barry. Everybody wanted to be Mike. I wanted to be Barry. I wanted to have those same accolades, those skills. And then I also had the privilege to play, at the same place he played in professional. So he played for the Detroit Lions. I had 2 years. I spent 2 seasons with the Detroit Lions, playing on the same field that he played on, running on the same field that he ran on. So what are some things that I learned from sports? Well, first, there were some negatives. I learned that people aren't always going to like you to win. And nowadays we call them haters. And most of the time those haters are people that can't really do what you do, or don't have the drive to do it the way you do it. And I had an instance where there was a teacher when I was when I was a senior in high school, about 15, 16, 17 years old, I can't remember. But he pulled me to the side one day and kind of reprimanded me for getting a scholarship, because, his son wasn't able to get a scholarship for whatever reason, academically or whatever. But, he pulled me aside and, reprimanded me because I got a scholarship and his son didn't. And you're also going to have teammates. You're also going to have people that you play with, or that you work with, that's going to be negative about, what you got going on, because they didn't have the work ethic, they didn't have the drive, they didn't have the determination to do the things that you want to do, or that you're capable of doing. So, understand that. Understand that that's going to happen. And then lastly, as an athlete, the same people that cheer for you, when they don't know who you are, they can't recognize you without your equipment, are the same people that are going to, see you as a threat, being a black person, or a person of color. All they see is, your skin. They don't see you as a person. All they see is, who you are, or they only see what they know a person that looks like me is. But there's also some positives. There's a lot of positive that I learned from football and sports in general, is discipline. It puts you in a position that you have to consistently do things over and over and over in order for you to get the results that you want. Competition. You know, my coach always says, you know, the competition takes work out of work. You know, the resilience and perseverance. I mean, we get injured, we get tackled, we got to get back up. Mental toughness. It teaches us to fight through things that we have no idea that we're capable of doing. Obviously, work ethic, because again, you have to put in the work to become who you want to become. Leadership, you learn from other people, and it's not just in sports, but that's how I learned. I learned how to be a leader by being around other leaders. And I mean, you have tough conversations with people early. You know, I've had them early with people that I didn't really like it, but I knew I had to have it in order for us to, you know, have the success we wanted to have. And then it allowed me to have focus and vision and to see things before I see them. Putting myself in a position to, you know, when I won a championship, to see myself on the field when I was in the 10th grade that I was going to, you know, win a championship. I saw it when I was in 10th grade. So sports allowed me to do those things. And so right now, you know, the people in sports or what sports does for communities, the money in sports is just really unheard of now. So when you are in a position to play at a professional level, it can dramatically change a community. Because, you know, those people, or when those people use their talents for good, you know, the community changes. And in the black community in general, the black community has benefited in general because of athletics. Because if you think about it, a lot of athletes have, you know, taken their talents and you know, went somewhere else, got a skill set, and then came back to their community. And they're doing things, they have a platform, they put themselves in a position to have a platform to, you know, speak to the world. And I mean, we all know it right now. We all know Colin Kaepernick, you know, who used his platform for social justice, to bring awareness to police brutality. And he was a guy that, you know, was looked at while he was doing it as a terrible thing. But then, you know, recently after that, you know, police brutality reared its head again. So, you know, college athletes are now in communities. They're teachers, they're doctors, they're entrepreneurs, they're inventors, and they're all in the community. They're either where they played at, or they're back where they grew up. I mean, the impact that they're having in these communities are positive. And, you know, they are the examples for the youth, or we are the examples for the youth, not just them, because I believe that I'm doing what's right and I'm putting, you know, things in place for the children that are in this community. So we have to pay homage to the ones that came before us, like, you know, Garrett Ford, Dick Leffridge, Joanna Wells, Levi Phillips, and all the other athletes in every other city that paved the way for us to play the sports that we love to play. So I want to say thank you to those guys first, and gals first. They gave us a platform to express our culture, and not just play for the name that's in front of the jersey, but play for the one that's in the back. And as I leave you today, I do want to let you know that, you know, the children today make up about 20% of the population, but they are 100% of our future. So we have to affect them positively. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
What an informative presentation. Thank you, Avon Cobourne, for sharing your time and knowledge with our audience. Thanks to our viewers for tuning in to this important series. Please keep an eye on our website, minorityAffairs.wv.gov, and on our social media pages at the handle @WVHHOMA for all of our upcoming events. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, God bless.